Good afternoon and welcome to the WAVY Digital Desk. Today we're talking about STEAM education. If you're not familiar with that, it is the new name really for STEM, but it incorporates more. So we're talking about, engineering, science, technology, art, and math. And Operation Smile is encouraging children and youth in our community to join for a new opportunity that we're going to talk about just coming up this weekend. But, to talk more about what Operation Smile is and these opportunities, we have two volunteers with us today. One has been with Operation Smile across the world, and one is a Hampton University student. So they're joining us today to talk more about the programs available and more about their inspiration, for working with Operation Smile. Hi, good afternoon. Thank you guys for joining me.
Hi, good afternoon.
I wanted to start on my left, at least in terms of looking at the screen, with Barbara Higgins. So Barbara Higgins has been with Operation Smile across the world, really. She's done, trips with Operation Smile. She's worked with students. She worked in student programming. And now she is a part of the Anthony L. And Tadeko Burgess Interactive Learning Center. And so she's a docent with them. So we're going to hear a bit more about that because that is an important location for an event taking place this weekend. And then we also have Chelsea Ajay with us today, and she is going to be speaking with us about her experience and her motivation working with Operation Smile in her medical career that she wants to embark on. So we're really excited to have both of them here with us today, sort of a look at different opportunities within Operation Smile as well. But Barbara, you just have such an experience, with Operation Smile. Can we start by just hearing a little bit about your experience, in the years that you've spent with them?
It's my pleasure. This organization has been near and dear to my heart for over 20 years now. I started volunteering with the student programs, and that allowed me to use some of my workplace skills to come and help with Operation Smile. So before I retired, I was an elementary school principal in Norfolk. And in my years, and I was a teacher before that. And so in my years, I've taken some kids on some field trips before, and I've worked with student teachers before. And those two skill sets just kind of intersected in a perfect way because I then, with volunteering with Operation Smile, I was student sponsor. And that just means that I was the mission mom for two high school students who chose to do the work to go on one of our surgical programs. And it was like a big field trip, but I had such a great time with some of the best and the smartest and the most generous students who were high schoolers from all over the world who came to spend 10 days on one of our surgical programs in countries all over the world. And it's been an absolute joy. I ran out of pages in my passport with Operation Smile, and I had to get some more pages put in, but I've done 19 missions, and it's just been a life work and great pleasure and opportunity to do that.
Well, congratulations on all that work. And I wanted to say, for people that aren't familiar with Operation Smile, it was founded in 1982. The headquarters is in Virginia Beach, which is why this is so local and near and dear here in Hampton Roads. And they have, world-class cleft care in 36 countries, as well as student programs, as Barbara spoke about, and more. So really this organization does so much in terms of care, but then also the student development side and youth side that we're going to talk about, which brings us to Chelsea. Chelsea, can you tell us a little bit about your volunteer work with Operation Smile and why you got involved?
Hi, thank you so much for having us here. My name is Chelsea Ajay. I am a second-year biochemistry major on the pre-medicine track at Hampton University, and I'm from Virginia Beach, Virginia. So growing up, I think most elementary and middle schoolers are introduced to Operation Smile, if not through the activities and programs they host, but through the Shamrock Marathon. And so I was really encouraged to volunteer and participate. And when I got to high school, I went to Ocean Lakes High School, and I was a part of the Math and Science Academy. I always knew I liked science, and I always knew I wanted to delve into a field where I can help others. So when I began to volunteer for Operation Smile, and I saw that they were providing surgeries and things that fascinated me compared to science, but also providing compassionate care that I myself have received when I had surgery. It was amazing connection, and it really just became the perfect home and the way for me to give back and to serve my community. And so I've enjoyed volunteering so far in the different ways. Like it's pushed me and excelled me as a STEM student.
Well, it's amazing to hear you talk about that. And I'm sure, Barbara, you have students like Chelsea that you've worked with, across your time there. But to hear her, I mean, what does that make you think as somebody that's led these groups?
Chelsea is just one of the outstanding and very generous and smart and they're just going to be wonderful citizens of the world. And so in my travels with Operation Smile, two students who had trained to go on the mission actually did a particular job. So they just weren't there to play with some of the students. Those volunteer students were really like my student teachers. Their job was to be health educators. And each of the students learned in detail and then made their own posters for very basic healthcare modules. So they were teaching first hand washing and toothbrushing. Then we've expanded it to oral rehydration therapy. We were actually teaching parents what to do if their child got sick with diarrhea, how to make up the little solution there. So the basic health units were what the students were doing on one of the programs. And so there ended up being six. We would take our mannequins because we did hands only CPR and the Heimlich maneuver. There was a nutrition unit and let's see. Oh, and fire and burn prevention. And so those lessons were taught over and over again during the screening days, and then during surgical week, the students had to do a minimum of about 10 to 15 presentations a day. But it was my job to keep my health educator students on task and busy and giving these very important basic healthcare modules and information to the families that were there to see that their child was going to be able to receive this life-changing surgery.
Wow. And I'm sure that's a life changing opportunity from the perspective of the students as well to be able to be there and work in these different countries.
It was a phenomenal just experience all around. But in those 10 days that we were gone, I got to see amazing transformations of students who just really got this aha moment of how privileged we are in the United States. And then to go to countries that, where so many people just don't have access to basic health care. And it was a real honor just to see those moments when the light bulb went off and they knew that they were doing something that was vitally important and a benefit to everybody that we served.
And you talked about it there sort of in practice, but Barbara, can you tell us a little bit about the mission of Operation Smile?
All right, Operation Smile is just we're a nonprofit organization whose mission is just to provide that life-changing surgery, cleft surgeries, and other services to children in need and in places where it's needed most. And so I've been to South America several times, Africa several times. We've been to Asia, the Philippines, Thailand, just all over. But generally, where the need is most, Operation Smile is there. And the surgeries are provided free for the patients that we serve.
And Chelsea, what part of that really caught your eye? And I know that you said that you joined, programs and runs and things here, but, going forward, I mean, would you like to be back in some capacity as you sort of go in your medical journey to come back and work with Operation Smile? I mean, just tell us a little bit about how it's motivated you to have this career in medicine.
Yes, so thank you. What caught my eye was honestly the fact that Operation Smile works in Ghana. Both of my parents immigrated here from Ghana, and I've grown up visiting and different things, and I've been able to see the healthcare system and different things like that. And so I believe that that help is needed and that impact is strong and important. And it connects me because I like to think like if my cousin was born with a cleft condition, that someone would be there to take care of them. And so, as a future physician, I hope to in the future become a doctor and go on these programs with Operation Smile and to be able to give back in the way that I saw. And so my career path right now, I'm interested in medicine and either surgery or anesthesia. And so the exposure that Operation Smile has given me through meeting like world-class surgeons, anesthesiologists, and different things has been really inspiring and motivating. And also to let me know that people that look like me can do these things and can excel in medicine.
Wow, so that's a really personal connection for you and the reasons that why you want to go forward with this.
Yes. And honestly, I feel as if my upbringing was also part of it. Like I mentioned, my parents are immigrants, but my mother is also a nurse with a master's in public health. So global and public health has been instilled in me. My father is a PhD. He is a counselor and a social worker. And so all of these influences and impacts have inspired me to like push forward, and volunteering with Operation Smile has been a really meaningful experience and is something I hope to continue. I am a university student and I really enjoy when I'm able to come back home and participate in these things and also bring it back to my university and show more people and teach them about Operation Smile and how STEM majors can be involved.
Right, and you can take that experience back with you. And for Barbara, first, you are a woman in STEAM, education. You have been educating people, but also working alongside. Can you just talk about how important that is to hear someone like Chelsea, a young woman, wanting to grow in this career path?
It's an amazing feeling just to know that the exposure and the awareness that's raised by being affiliated with Operation Smile so influences uh, the very talented and gifted students like Chelsea to go into one of these professions. And so I'm just really proud of some of the students that I've taken on missions and to surgical programs. They are doctors now. Some are dentists. Some are nutritionists. And one of my students has gone into speech pathology. And so I just know that when they just suddenly had that moment that this is what I want to do, here we are on this wonderful opportunity to come back and then to choose a career path that's really going to help take care of the problems that Operation Smile is trying to solve around the world. So it's so important. It's very important.
And Chelsea, I don't know if you even know, but when you started talking, you're talking about community engagement and getting people excited at Hampton University and here in Hampton Roads through you and through seeing what you do and through the organization. I do want to jump to the event and then we'll talk about how important that community engagement is. But, Barbara, you are in the lab right now, it looks like. But can you tell us what this event is this weekend? For people that don't know, it's going to be on March 2nd, but it's going to be an event. I'll let you, give us the title and tell us a little bit about what's happening.
All right, this is our inaugural, this is our very first World of Medicine STEAM Con. So it's a mini convention, but we're hoping that the community will come out and just engage with a lot of the vendors from the community that are here to just show or highlight some of the ways or avenues that they might be able to get involved with the science, the engineering, the technology, the art, and the math. All of these things are available right here at our Operation Smile Interactive Learning Center. And we'll just have some wonderful activities. We'll have an escape room and just some delightful things that Melanie has all planned for us. So it'll be very engaging, and we hope to have as much participation as we can.
And I'm showing some photos, and there you are, throughout. And these are going to be some photos of your volunteer work as well as the Learning Center. Can you tell us a little bit about the Learning Center that you're in?
Oh, all right. Anthony Burgess made a wonderful tribute to Operation Smile in memory of his wife, Hadoku. He met her in Japan. He was there during one of the wars, and he came back, and his gift made it possible to realize one of Kathy McGee, one of our co-founders, uh, dream to have a way right here and at headquarters to be able to engage the community and to give them a window into the services that we provide somewhere in the world. And our learning center is interactive. We go through different stations, and it traces the path. You get a chance to walk in the shoes of a child whose family is bringing that person to Operation Smile for that life-changing surgery. So we're going through a Filipino village. We have a little hut or a house that simulates the living conditions there. We have a jeepney that's been beautifully decorated by our Filipino community. And we have different stations. And I'm right now sitting in our surgery station. And the students come in and they get a chance to look at the different jobs that go on to take care of a surgery. And they get to watch interactive videos to see what that surgery is like. And so this is just one of my favorite spots, and it's one of the nicest, um, really realistic kind of like just areas where we have authentic. We've got the instruments here. Might hear the beeping monitor in the back, and our sterilizing machines. You're walking into an OR that is a small version of what you would see at actually a hospital where we're doing conducting one of our surgical programs.
That's amazing how interactive it is. And we're showing some photos on the screen that are popping up to sort of go with what you're talking about in terms of the different spaces that are available at the lab. Chelsea, I mean, is this something that when you were younger and you were sort of interested in this field that you would have loved to go to and sort of love the opportunity to connect with?
Yes, for sure. The Interactive Learning Center is amazing, and I was able to help with the summer camps that we've hosted here, and my own younger brother was able to come here and look at the operating room and look at the village, look at the jeepney, and really be inspired. So it's amazing, and it's something I wish I had, and I'm glad that people like my little brother and honestly any age in the community can come and see and experience this because we know that not everyone is able to go on surgical programs, but it still gives them a glimpse at the impact that Operation Smile makes on the community in the world.
Absolutely. And I want to say this weekend, it's a free event. It's open for all ages for kids. And you can either walk in. There's also a link that I put in the Facebook conversation, but also on wavy.com that will also link right there so you can register as well. And what an opportunity just to sort of see these resources that look amazing, you know, behind Barbara and in the photos. And what a cool, engaging community activity, really. And educational, but it seems like it's also going to be fun and engaging, you know, with the escape room and with these activities that are getting brought out this weekend. You know, I wanted to say both of you obviously are incredibly self-motivated to get involved with Operation Smile, especially, you know, at your age, Chelsea, and then Barbara with your history and bringing your teaching capabilities, but also, you know, traveling around the world. What would you suggest to people like this weekend to show up and get involved into this STEAM education? Barbara, do you want to go first?
Well, there's so many opportunities for volunteering right here at headquarters. And then there are other ways to be involved. Some students choose to be in a smile club and sometimes that involves coming into headquarters. Others just are participating like Chelsea in the final mile. That's always fun. And we just are so appreciative of all that our citizenship does to support the wonderful work of this mission. And so if you want to be a beneficial presence somewhere in the world, just knowing that Operation Smile is headquartered right here, there is a way to just reach out. We have smile bags that need to be sewn together and stuffed. We have blankets that our students make and little quilting areas. And so just coming in and being a part is there will be always something to do. And of course, if you just don't have you're not nearby, you can always just make a donation. The cost for a surgery has been kind of distilled down to $240. And those donations mean so much because so much is given to the families who aren't able to even provide their own transportation to get to one of our surgical programs. And so every dime that is contributed is a way just to make your presence known in the heart of somebody that you'll never know by helping to create that smile. So lots of opportunities, but donations and are very, very important. And that's a good way to be a part of it.
Absolutely. And Chelsea, for you, I don't know if people come up to you on campus, but let's say they do and ask you how to get involved. What would be your advice? Maybe even if they didn't know that they had a, path forward in STEAM. I mean, what would you say to somebody that sees what you're doing and wants to get involved?
Right. So bouncing off of what Barb said, there's really something for any and everyone, depending on your interests, your skills, the creativity, sewing smile bags. Something I personally might recommend is hosting a materials, a donation drive so that we can donate materials to headquarters for the smile bags that are sewn here. So toothbrushes, mirrors, little toys, so that the kids receive them after surgery and they have something to play with and something, to help them during their healing process. And another thing I would say is just to come out to community events like SteamCon. And you never know who might be there. You never know the connections you can make and the different things you can do to start your impact and start your journey and start getting more involved.
And women like you both, make people motivated, I think, to join the STEAM field and see the different opportunities that are available with it. But I guess in general, and maybe to sort of, end out this conversation, we were really focused on women in STEAM with this, obviously, with you two. How important is that going forward? Whichever path people choose, whether it's the medical side with Operation Smile, or maybe a different avenue, developing technology or becoming an engineer, or teaching and being a part of the process, how important is that for women in particular and girls to see the opportunities there? Barb, if we want to start with you.
Oh, absolutely. 2 years ago, Operation Smile celebrated its 40th anniversary. And post after COVID, some of the inequities in the healthcare system became so apparent, and the need was just overwhelming. But Kathy had a very, very bright idea. And right around Women's History Month, some of the all women's missions or all women's surgical programs were started, and we did 5 of them. And I had the blessing of representing the Learning Center, our windows to the world, in at the all women's medical surgical program in Peru. And so this was my first surgical program without students, but I got a chance to just be a part and of the wonderful work that an entire surgical team, an international team of all women down there in Peru had to happen. And so our women, let's see, the mission or the goal was just to expand the participation of women in healthcare so that we can just alleviate some of this global burden of the lack of surgery and access to medical care. There are, Sarah, there are 5 billion people worldwide who are lacking access to affordable surgical care. And most of our international teams they were about 60% of the women on the team were making sure that we were having a successful event. So 60%, they were mostly women, and Kathy had the idea that we could do all women on the team. So we did 5 of those. And they were absolutely wonderful in that we were focusing on mentorship. And so the women who are in medicine sometimes are lacking just the support or the mentoring that would help to further along their surgical careers. And that was especially wonderful. And we know now that women got the job done. Everything, all of the medical and the non-medical aspects of a surgical team that goes to the different countries were handled by women, and it was phenomenal. I called it a Wonder Woman convention because everybody who contributed on those missions just did an outstanding job. So it was like a Wonder Woman convention, and women can get this show started to eliminate so much of the problems that are around the world.
Absolutely. There's no question about that. And I think it's really motivating to know that there are so many women out there who are willing and able, obviously, to do more than just get it done, but you know, do something amazing like that. And that is a staggering statistic that you offered, Barbara. So it just shows how necessary, you know, women in the workforce and more people in the workforce is. And it's so incredible that you all were able to put that team together. Chelsea, for you, I mean, you're somebody that it seems like this has been your path, but how motivated do you hope girls are younger than you or people that you are in school with to join you in the STEAM field?
So, actually, this summer during one of our World of Medicine STEAM camps, we had a STEM empowerment camp. So, the purpose was to empower middle school age girls who are interested in STEM. And I was able to give a presentation on my journey. And really, the most amazing part was I had one girl come up to me and be like, wow, like, you're doing so much. You're so young. I want to be like you. And it really touched me because I'm like, "Ooh, little of me. Like, I just really love that I was able to inspire and impact. And like what Barb said about mentorship, mentorship is everything. I don't think I would have been here if there weren't people who had invested in me and hadn't taken an interest in me and motivating me, and just letting me know that I can do anything. I also just have really enjoyed experiencing listening to the stories of women at our International Student Leadership Conference that Operation Smile hosts for students, especially students that are hoping to, in the future, go on these surgical programs. There was a woman in medicine panel, and it was so amazing to listen to everyone just share their stories, nurses, doctors, language pathologists, excuse me, and women who tell stories and different things like that. It really showed me that we can do it all and that, you know, we are the future and that there's more to come.
Wow. And Barbara, how does that feel, you know, from your perspective to hear Chelsea say that so confidently, but so rightfully? You should be confident, Chelsea, that women can do it all.
My heart is warmed. There's such a wealth of talent, and um, Chelsea's just a fine example of those women that we are hoping to inspire to go in and to help make this world a better place. I know she's going to get it done in a most magnificent way.
Well, thank you both for joining me today to talk about the opportunities and hopefully motivate others in the community and engage the community in this STEAM event this weekend. Is there anything else that either of you want to share, either about your experience or about, you know, upcoming opportunities to get involved?
Just come and play with us this weekend. It's going to be great fun. And you'll get a chance just to look around headquarters and see what a magnificent work is headquartered right here in Virginia Beach. So we're looking forward to seeing as many people coming and being involved, but perhaps your heart will just be opened to the great need that is in the world that this fine organization has dedicated itself to. And if you want to be a beneficial presence in the world, here's an opportunity right here in Virginia Beach just to connect and to be a wonderful outreach and so meaningful everywhere in the world.
And Chelsea, is there anything else going through? I know that you must be busy between all of your studies and everything that's happening at Operation Smile, but you know, is there anything that you'd like people to know, you know, just in terms of your work there?
So I think Barb said it beautifully, but one thing I would just add is to use social media, use your assets to stay updated and to stay involved. So you can follow us on Instagram at ILC Journey, and then also on TikTok with the same handle. Just even if you can't participate, to be able to see and share and reach more people.
Well, great. Thank you both so much for joining us this afternoon. And for everyone watching, there's more information on wavy.com where you can find out about the social media resources that Chelsea just spoke about, as well as the student programs, as well as the event this weekend. There's so much content that you're able to access on Operation Smile's website. So go to wavy.com to view more resources and to find out more. Well, thank you both again for joining us this afternoon. I can't thank you enough. And it was wonderful to hear about both of your experiences and really how you're engaging and motivating the community through your work.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Sarah. It was our pleasure.